I'm Marnie, and I've been obsessed with documentaries.
And I'm Chrissy. I haven't, but I'm giving it a go.
We watch so you don't have to. Or maybe you do, and just want a completely fact-free synopsis.
Expect spoilers and tangents.
Because we're not here to educate.
We trade accuracy for entertainment every time.
This is the Gist Project.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What is this, episode 10? Double digits.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not it ever sees, some of them see the light of day, is something else.
That's true. So this could be episode 1.
It could.
Or 3 or 10.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to see what interests the people.
Exactly.
And whether or not we're like, oh, that camera work really.
Either way, for us, we're in double digits.
Yeah.
The listener or viewer may just be in single digits.
They may actually be on episode 40, and then we release this because we were like, it's all right.
Right.
We're fine with this at this point.
So, TBD.
Yeah. What's interesting here, Moon, is getting ready for this felt different because we did a lot, right? Like we got our intro, we got our outro, we got all of that stuff that you think like is easy.
Yeah.
None of it is.
No, we're hustling.
Yeah.
I mean, people, I thought for sure making a podcast would be kind of easy.
Me too.
And we're proven wrong every day.
That's just the thing. Like you YouTube this shit and it's like, oh yeah, all you need is just like your earphone. What are those? Earphones?
I always say it wrong. Pods?
AirPods? Yeah, AirPods and a
Earbuds.
computer.
Right, yeah.
Wrong.
So wrong.
Yeah, and I know a part of the beauty of this is that we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
But we're learning.
Come learn with us.
Yep.
Although I'm sure some people are like, no. You should have this shit figured out.
Yeah, aren't you guys like in your mid-40s?
Yes.
Fuck, you've been working with computers for since, you know.
Some time. Since Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Oh, Number Munchers.
God, I do love that show.
Yeah.
The oxen. Somebody broke a leg.
Yep. We have to ford a river. Fjord.
Well, that's bringing back the old Scandinavian roots. You wonder how the Oregon Trail, like if that was a regional thing. I mean, and we admit that we're from the US, so our lens is US centric for all of our international listeners, which we just laugh while we say that, right? Yeah. But was Oregon in everybody's scholastic and academic?
No.
No, I doubt it.
I don't think they're learning about that.
Okay.
They, as in everybody else.
It was like the highlight of the week to go play that.
Oh, yeah. It was a reward. Yeah.
You're right. I wonder if it was like subtly educational, but they're like, actually, let's just get these kids something to do.
Now that I'm an adult,
yeah,
I would definitely say, no, keep them busy.
That was it. If it's never occurred to me, it is the equivalent of giving a toddler YouTube, which everybody does these days, by the way, unless you are vehemently against it and, you know, you're a better parent than I am. But
yeah, good job.
Yeah. But people do that to entertain. So we sat down with Oregon Trail.
Yeah. And our kids sat down with Dora.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Princess movies. Well, and streaming services were available. So you could just put on whatever Disney movie was available at the time.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So here we are. Like you said, 10th episode. We're getting the hang of this thing. Huge pat on our back for intro, outro. That's how these things work. But tell me about the last week and what's been exciting.
Well, I got to go to my favorite quilt shop. This one is in Perr, Minnesota. I will shout it out to all those quilters out there.
Really?
Bay Window Quilt Shop.
Go check it out.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Totally. Maybe they'll be our sponsors one day. But
I bet.
So they've always had gorgeous fabric and quilt patterns because you buy a pattern. Well, some people buy patterns for this stuff. I do.
Hold on. However, okay, so you've been doing this for a long time and I've known that you've done this. You mean you don't just stitch things?
No, of course I do, but Katie Harrigan, I think I might get that wrong, but she owns this quilt shop, and so she makes patterns. So one I do frequently is just called the 5-yard quilt
Okay.
because it's 5 yards of fabric, and then she instructs you how to cut this fabric,
Mm-hmm.
how to piece and sew together. So I have a ton of individuality in these pieces,
Right.
in the fabric I choose and in the way I put them together. But she makes it like, hey, here's 5 yards of fabric. Here's how you would make a quilt with that. And
I
it
mean,
works. She's got a 3-yard throw. I just bought another one. I can't remember it, but maybe I'll put the picture right up here. But anyway,
yes.
yeah. So I love going there. Now they sell yarn.
Oh, it's brought it
So
to a whole new level for you
yeah,
then.
and puzzles.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
honestly, I feel like they created this store for me
Yeah.
and my paycheck.
Do you So when you go in there, is this like, okay, get ready, everybody. I could spend the day here.
Oh, when you say everybody, nobody's allowed to come except for my sister Katie.
Got it.
But yeah, I could and I don't because when I'm at this is in Perm, so it's at the cabin.
Yep.
And when I'm in town, I have butt loads. Who says that?
People
I
in
have
their 40s.
extreme guilt.
Okay.
Like, oh, you're away from the lake. You're missing out on whatever jobs are supposed to be happening there.
Right.
So it's hard to enjoy for hours. But I spend as much time as I can there.
And what'd you purchase?
Well, I'm making a quilt for my nephew who's going to graduate high school this year.
Yep.
I bought fabric for that. I'm making a quilt for Luce, who's going to graduate high school this year. I bought fabric and a pattern for that. And then I bought a fabric for a secret project I'm working on.
Okay.
It's not for you.
Okay.
And then I bought yarn.
And yarn. So you came back, did you leave things in the car or did you proudly bring in your wares to show people?
I show this.
Okay.
I did buy my sister. The yarn I bought was not for myself.
Okay.
She's turning 40.
Gosh.
So I bought her a mood blanket. Smartly, they sold the pattern there too.
Nice.
And then, so it's what you do is you have like 10 different colors. This corresponds to different moods. And I chuckle to myself because I just should probably buy the one like either anxiety or rage for Kate.
I mean,
like, sorry, Katie, I know there is joy in your life, but
lots of it.
Man, I should have maybe bought more yarn for some feelings, right?
Well, I can't wait to see what this actually means because when you said mood blanket, I'm picturing a blanket that changes color like the mood ring.
Well, sort of, but it's like January 1. I'm feeling excited. So you make a row of excited color.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
January
it's
for the 2. Maybe
so this
you're
is
feeling
for the person.
Yes, sad. Yes, it's like a journaling activity with your hook and yarn. That's how I would see it.
I wonder if like that should be copyrighted or written?
Yes.
Okay.
But I did buy the pattern.
Okay.
So technically
somebody did.
Somebody did it.
Nice.
And I paid money for it.
You sure did. Yeah. You were like, this is what I want to be doing.
So spoiler alert on your 40th birthday present, Kate.
Yeah. But how much? But she turns 40 before this whole thing drops, right?
Well, if the release is my birthday, this can't be the first episode because her birthday is 6 days after mine.
Okay. Yep. Then it's absolutely not.
Right.
We're not starting with this one.
No.
Which, by the way, we are going to get into which show we're talking about. The thing didn't allow me to put in, or at least the recording session. It's actually Implosion, the Titanic Sub Disaster.
Yeah.
But what I want to share with you before we get into that.
Yeah. What'd you do?
Well, it's not necessarily what I did, but what I learned.
Oh, okay.
So we put in this deck, I don't know, 5 years ago? And no, that's not true. I guess 7, because we had it for a couple of years before we got Mushu, who is just, he loves sitting with you these days, Moon. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm going to let it go. If there's anybody who he can be with except me, it's you.
He doesn't know where he's at. He's only woken up one time to readjust. So he's like, happy.
Yeah. I'm just happy in the furs.
Sleeping. Yeah.
But that motherfucker, has pissed on the corners of everything we own for as long as he's been alive and for as long as we've had him. And it turns out that apparently this rust proof, weather-proof deck that we have is not so urine proof.
Oh.
So what I'm going to do is put a picture right here that shows the areas where Moosh relieves himself, especially during the winter. It has now officially corroded off to the point where this, deck that is supposed to withstand everything just simply doesn't.
Interesting.
It dies to a pug.
Yeah.
Of all things. So that's kind of my fun fact. And I guess the other thing I'd share is that I was surprised by my friend Grace, who on Friday said, or Thursday, guess what? She sent a screenshot and it was Gathered Oaks to my home. And it was, we are in town. She has a friend who got married. She's come to Minnesota a bunch of times. She lives in Philly with her husband, and her friend is in Tennessee with her fiance. And the wedding just happened to be 15 minutes away.
Wow.
Yeah. So they came over yesterday. Jeff and I made
fun.
Like we were like the old people with these like early 30s, late 20 kids, right?
Yep.
These kids, these friends had so much energy. They had the energy of 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, and somebody in their 60s is going to laugh at me in my 40s, but they came, they had a pizza night on Thursday night where it was like, I don't know, whatever the party is before the wedding.
Groom's dinner?
Maybe. Okay.
Yep.
That. And then there was the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came over here, right? Which they came over around 10:15 and left around 3.
Yeah.
Energy the whole time. We had breakfast, we hung out, we talked, we went on the boat, came back. Then they got dressed to go to a garden party back in Minneapolis. So they then drove 2 hours back to wherever this garden party was to continue yet another festivity. Can you imagine having that many social events?
That's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
So I love them and I'm so glad they came and they brought life and joy. I also looked at their weekend and thought that's too much.
That's a lot.
Yep. I died a little inside. That's a hard pass. I think even in my 30s, I don't know if I would have been. Sorry. I don't know if I would have been able to do that.
That doesn't age us. Let me grab the tissue from my pocket.
I know. And it's used.
Yeah.
I used to hate my mom for like pulling out like her used tissue. And here I am.
All the things that we do that our moms have done is a totally different episode.
You're right.
I mean, it's an entire episode, I'm sure.
Do you think that maybe we could write our own documentary about it?
Probably, yeah.
All the things we saw that we were like, never.
Again.
Here we are.
Yep.
So
here we are.
So that was delightful. And then when they left, I essentially collapsed and had some time to watch our documentary.
Well, I'm tired for them. Yeah. So you got to watch... Let's talk about it.
Okay. We're starting with Implosion.
The Titanic Sub Disaster. Watching on Amazon.
Yep.
And this event occurred June 18th, 2023.
Yeah, and of all of our episodes, I'm starting to feel, well, our most recent that we've had, and we'll give the spoiler on the next one. Sure. But it's like these are kind of real, like close to our home, like what we were doing. And I know we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But just to kick things off, it's like, wow, this was recent events.
Something I actually knew that happened. Yeah. Unlike some of our documentaries where I'm like totally in the dark.
Right.
And so that makes it harder for me to look at that tile and have a first impression because I know what it is.
Okay.
I heard about this in the news.
Yep. So tell me your impression when you looked at it. And also, spoiler, there are several documentaries on this one.
Oh, there are.
And I saw the other one.
Oh.
But so I sent it thinking, okay, I'm going to just revisit this.
Yeah.
And then when I realized what I sent you, by looking at the title, I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't the one on Netflix, because I tried watching on Netflix. I'm like, this is not the same. So I went back and looked at what I sent you. Yeah. It is the one on HBO.
And that's
what we watched.
That's what I watched.
Or
Yeah.
Amazon.
Well,
Amazon, you're
HBO.
right.
HBO. I'm sorry. I get to my HBO through Amazon.
Oh, I watched it through HBO.
Then I bet it was on HBO.
Okay.
Sorry,
You know what,
listeners, readers.
everybody? Guess what? The good news is that you can actually find this thing
Yeah.
in 2 places.
Yeah.
So good for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, I wasn't very creative with this because I knew there was a submarine disaster.
But if in a couple of words, how would you describe it?
I said, I can recall this event. So I was aware we would be watching a submarine disaster.
Well, that's good.
You do it. You tell me.
Okay, so what I saw was cartoonish. It
Okay.
reminded me of anything that you would see like around the era of our kids watching TV. Like it reminded me of the Blues Clues, but about a submarine. So what I saw reminded me of a cartoon between the turquoise of the coloring
Yeah.
and the yellow font.
Yeah.
There was something kind of kindergarten about it. But then I knew that it was disastrous.
So maybe
and quite
they're
sad.
trying to make the disaster lighten it up a little.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe
No.
where it might be a little more clickbait, although it seems to work the opposite these days. But yeah, so that was, I tried to be as objective as possible when looking at the tile.
Well, I'll do better, but honestly, I'm pretty literal at times. So I'm like, well, yeah, seen it. I know what it's about.
Yeah, sad. Well,
Hearing.
yeah. Well, okay, here's the question for you. So I know we usually say like, what were you doing when, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know what we were doing, and we can probably get to what we were doing when the news broke out about the actual event, which there's no spoiler here that it imploded.
Yeah.
Hence the name.
Yes.
But like, were you aware of this company?
Not at all.
Okay.
I didn't know there was people in this world that are like, I'm going to go and build a sub on my own.
Right.
That to me was out there.
Mm-hmm.
But of course there's people that will do that. Just not part of my thought process.
Elon talks about going to Mars. Why would we think it's any different? And in fact, didn't he kind of reference like, I watched a lot of Star Trek and Star Wars.
He wanted to be an astronaut.
Yes, thus I'm an expert.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and who are we talking about?
Stockton Rush, founder, CEO of OceanGate, the Explorers Club.
Okay.
Which I thought...
The Explorers Club.
Yeah.
There it is. That's getting back to my impression of the tile.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's a good tie.
Right.
So it did say he wanted to be an astronaut. He comes from a pretty prestigious, however you want to say it, family.
Yeah.
His father was the president of the Bohemian Club.
Have you ever heard of that?
No, but did it look a little clannish?
Yes, it sure did. And his wife, Wendy, came from the Macy family.
Yes.
Which I that name in and of itself implies significance.
Yep. Yeah. So we're talking about...
It did look clannish.
It did. I was watching with Bobby, and Bobby agreed with me.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really... Okay, just a side note.
Yeah.
He was in charge of the remote control. So there are things I need to pause to write down because I'm taking these great notes.
Yep. Scrupulous.
Yes. And then there are some things I don't need a pause for, but this man, bless his heart, paused quite frequently. I'm like, we could actually keep rolling. You know? I can read pretty fast on the screen.
Yeah.
And he's like, you need this one paused? I'm like, nope, got
bless
it.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. So it was really good.
Okay.
It was fun to watch.
So did you pause on the clan part?
Well, yeah, I said, does that look a little clannish? And he said, yes.
Yeah, it did. It was a mountainous region. Now, we may look at photographs, footage that bear no resemblance to that, in fairness.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, when I think of Bohemia, I mean, they're called bohunks. Did you know that?
Now that you say that, yeah, I think I did.
Yeah. There's also a reference in 16th Candles. No, 16 Candles.
Oh, what is it?
Where it was oily variety bohunk.
Oh,
yeah. I'll bring it back. I'll find some way to bring in 16 Candles. I think that's the name of the movie with
Molly.
Yes, Molly.
Yes.
oily variety bohunk. Anyways, Bohemians
Yeah.
in somewhere in Europe. And that's where my knowledge ends. But apparently there's a huge Bohemian population in Minnesota.
Oh,
Yeah, you're
well,
welcome.
I wonder if they wear white robes.
Right.
But that's what it was, white
Yep.
robed people.
Yeah. Yeah. In mountains.
In mountains. Anyway, that just brought that there.
So he had the money, he had like nobody was standing in his way, and he's gonna become an astronaut. Just kidding.
Yeah, instead of astronaut things, he's like maybe submarine underwater things.
Mm-hmm.
His mission was to give people better access to the ocean depths.
Yeah, at the cost of $250,000 a pop.
Yeah,
Access?
I would say nope. If somebody said free ticket, you want to go explore the Titanic in this man-made, like, okay, sorry, everything's man-made, but
Yeah.
in this non-regulated,
I don't know if they lead with that.
I don't. Okay, even if they're like, hey, safest vessel ever, do you want to explore the depths of the ocean? I would say no. That I don't want to
Really?
go to space, nor do I want to go to the bottom of the ocean.
Okay, that's fair, because I probably would have been like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, okay.
Let's do that. In fact, one of the characters, and I see him right here, Alfred Hagen.
Oh yeah.
The-
I
the
saw
businessman?
little Marnie and Alfred. I'll say that. Yeah.
I liked him. I was like, yeah.
You know, it was him or quite a few of these people talk about risk
Yeah.
and talk about how they're a little bit more risk tolerant.
Yep.
Clearly, like,
Yeah.
yes, I would.
So
that's a good way to describe these people.
I scuba dive. A lot of people just don't want to scuba dive for insert any reason. The idea of seeing those things is really cool. Now, if I knew that this was carbon fiber that was not tested and
Yeah.
and also if you had to sign, okay, I'd probably sign the liability waiver
But
too.
we do sign those for everything.
Everything. They've become so ubiquitous with practically any purchase you make that nowadays it's just, oh, who reads the Apple terms and conditions?
No, even I don't do that.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think it's, are you motivated to go do this exciting thing? Yes or no? And then
comes at the risk of death.
Right. That's probably very small in the fine print.
Well, right. It would be in all of it. Yeah.
Until you get on the actual ship, and we did see him delivering his like town hall speech to everybody, basically saying, this is exploratory, this is risky. I guess that would probably give me kind of a boner though.
Yeah, I would be like, I'm not even sure why I'm out there in the first place. No thanks.
Okay, if we were to look at the Marnie versus the Christie in this scenario, I'll assume Alfred Hagen, who was a business, I think he was dubbed a businessman, but I also have a feeling that he had something to do with the financing behind this thing.
He's a mission specialist.
Okay.
And he did pay money to not just to be, I felt like it was more than just the 250 to go on this.
Right.
I think it was in addition to.
Okay.
And then he was mission specialist, so that they describe that as a passenger who's given the latitude to participate in missions.
Right. And if we were to give our fervent listeners a hint here, Ocean Gate / the Titan is this organization that Stockton founded and essentially said, I'm going to find a way to bring our average Joe down to the bottom of the ocean. You said that already. The interesting thing is, between there and when we fast forward to these people going on their mission to see the Titanic, this company executed 47 dives, it's plus or minus, in the Bahamas under very different conditions.
Yeah.
And as the company grew, they started to grow not only in revenue, or maybe not revenue, but you got mission specialists, you got people who were willing to put in their time and energy. There were paid people who we met through the testimony or the hearing, right? People who got fired for speaking up.
So if you're Alfred, I am Antonella.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yes.
That's where I was going. Poor
Yes.
Antonella.
This is her job.
Yes.
I mean, she's an engineering operations tech. Her specialty was unmanned underwater vehicles.
Yes.
And she had made it quite clear none of this seemed normal to
Right.
her, and there were humans on board.
Yes. Remote operated vehicles.
That's it.
Remote
Yes.
operated roves.
But that implies no people are in there.
Yeah, and in fact, if we were to go Marnie Alfred, who was like, fuck yeah, let's do this, to Chrissy Antonella, she's like, hold on a minute. We don't even let these loose cables go for the roves, let alone with human beings in this butt plug looking thing.
Yep. Yes.
Which is also one of my observations of the tile, is that it looked like a butt plug.
They did call it a toilet paper roll. I mean, I think that
so many butt references.
Yes. Yeah. And I think Tim Catterson, he might have called that, but he was a pilot, a submarine pilot.
You even wrote down they would butt heads at times.
Yeah, there it is.
With double T.
Yeah. Did I?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
so
I love it.
We're just coming back to it. Yeah. Tim seemed like a bit of a, like he liked to have a little fun. So did Carl Stanley.
Yes.
You know,
so I feel like he was the safety diver.
Yes.
Yes, he built subs, but he said, I don't think you should be doing carbon fiber.
Right. No, that's Carl.
Oh, that was Carl. Okay.
So
sorry.
It's okay. I think, again, we come back to, we're not historians nor are we experts. So we've got Tim and we've got Carl. Tim was the safety diver
who went along on these missions.
Correct.
Because I felt like he thought he should be there.
And I think he felt like there was that was his way of helping. Like, I see this as a little bit of a train wreck, but maybe I can help. I like a good exploration, but maybe I can help in the sense that I can just make sure these people are seen safely. And then we've got Carl, who was pictured in Tucson, Arizona, building a sub in the middle of the desert.
Okay, that's Carl. Yeah. But was he also at the Roatan Institute? Did he build his own sub?
I didn't put Carl together. Wait. Yes. So, Carl,
I think he was
is
pictured,
Mr. Stanley.
Yep.
Yes.
He was pictured in his own sub that he built in the shape of an orb, because that's, I guess, how pressure works down at the bottom.
You're right.
Of the ocean.
Carl had a couple of different interesting appearances, right? Because wasn't he also the one who they did the flippity-doo in the airplane? Or was that a different guy?
No, I think that's Tim.
Okay.
Tim is old.
Yes.
Carl is younger.
Yes. Okay.
Tim was out in Arizona and did talk about like how, we go do this flying together.
Okay.
Carl was one that was like, I think this act could be considered criminal.
Yeah. In fact, what I wrote down, first of all, Carl was featured in a few different settings.
Yeah.
And one of which was a very tropical, I don't know, I got the impression he was sitting somewhere in
Roatan.
Probably.
That's my guess.
Roatan. Yeah, where it all began. Yeah, like there were palm trees in the background. So I noticed a plant behind him for sure. There weren't many plants in this show, Moon.
No.
In fact, I kind of made a note and there are no drawings, just some squiggles because I was irritated.
Boring words.
Yeah, boring words and a butt plug.
Yeah.
It's all I have written down here. Okay, so I also so there was Josh Gates.
Yes, host of Expedition Unknown.
Right.
I thought that was really an interesting segment because he did get to go down on a dive where nothing seemed to work. And instead of cashing in, let's say,
right,
on this exploration to the Titanic, he was like, nope, we are not filming this.
What's interesting too, so I think it was, he could have been a part of going down, like you said.
Yeah.
But he called off, I think, even airing the first part, like kind of the hype video, because I think he went down there maybe here's where I'm going to get it wrong. He went down there and they did a little bit of a dive. They didn't do the full depth, not because of any particular reason other than things were going wrong. And I think Stockton knew it. So they went back up.
Everything was going wrong.
And he had to make the phone call to the network to say, we're pulling the plug on the entire project. I may have just said what you said in 7,000 different words that made no sense, but you're right.
But he was concerned that there were no safety drills ever. Like, yes. He ask, like, how long does it take to get out of here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Like that. That just really got to me. That you're bolted in to the toilet paper butt plug. And it looked really like just two computer screens. Like, didn't it look pretty sparse?
Yes.
Building
mat.
my own sub and a toilet.
Yeah.
I don't build subs, but I'm picturing something just with a little bit more tech.
Yeah.
And maybe there was more tech, or maybe they were waiting for Petros to do the laser beams. Because he also went down.
Yes.
He was that electrical guy who was going to install laser beams to get accurate measurements of the Titanic or something. But that was pretty ballsy of him to go down. He's like...
Well, he was also 20 years old.
Yeah.
And everybody commented like, well, this kid.
Yeah. You're not married and you don't have kids, but you're perfect.
Perfect. Die down here with
running again away from that. But
yeah.
He did it and made it.
He lived to tell the tale. So we've got this cast of characters. Some are risk. They run toward the risk.
Yeah.
And others who tried it out and were like, Spidey sense, I think, is what Josh said. That and as somebody who goes on many dangerous explorations and expeditions, he was like, this ain't right.
Yes, he felt that.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, that ought to tell you something.
Yeah.
So we've got our cast. So Wendy's involved. She's head of communications, and it sounds like this thing gets going and it goes down and there's ping, ping, ping back to the surface. Ping, ping, ping. They bring it out and they're doing most of their test dives in the Bahamas. And isn't it in the Bahamas? I could be wrong, but I wrote down dive 80 is where shit goes down.
That wasn't the Bahamas.
That wasn't? Okay.
No, that was an actual Titanic dive.
It was. Okay.
Dive 80 was in 2022. It made it to the Titanic. On its way up, they heard that boom that could be heard obviously in the vessel, but from the deck.
You're right. Boat. Yeah, and they were surfacing, so they would have been kind of close, where I guess as a risk forward person, I'd be like, oh, I'm kind of glad that we're close to the surface.
Right.
I guess we're not going to completely die.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know what happens when that thing comes off.
Oh.
The dome, they said that it did come off. Alfred had footage of when the dome was on the deck.
Yes.
Because the bolts had sheared off. I'd be...
Yeah.
And then Alfred was like, I got to be on the next dive.
Right, like, right. He was not going to miss it. What's interesting... Okay, here's something. When you're on an airplane, I got to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you have to fart?
No.
Really?
On an airplane?
Yeah, like when you're going and it's like...
Generally, no. No.
Oh, that thing starts going and I'm like...
So you're getting depressurized?
Yes.
Or your body wants to?
Yes. So like, I have this like, I feel like somebody should research when you're looking at a plane and there are human bodies in there.
Yeah.
What is the flow? Because inevitably there are several Marnies around me and I get like a whoosh of just fart. And I'm wondering, like, airplanes are set up in a way where, like, that air would go this way or, due to the, I don't know,
science,
the engineering of pressurization and airflow, where when you smell a fart coming into your face and you eat it, not that you would, Moon, because you can't smell anything,
can't smell well,
but where is that coming from? Is it the person in front of me? Is it the person next to me?
Oh, sure.
So I'm going to bring it back to Implosion. What happens when people fart down there?
I don't know. I think it has to stay. Oh,
Everybody's
or
just sitting there in that fart. And what if you have to pee?
there's the bathroom in there.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a
There
bathroom.
is a toilet. It's like, it looked like a box, a shoe box. I kid you not, in the front. And he said that they pull a curtain and I think they play music loudly.
What? How did I
Yeah,
miss that?
I don't know, but it was there. And
They
I
play
thought,
music loudly?
it's well, because there's just a curtain.
I mean, that assumes that the
How
sound of
long
pee.
are these taking? I mean, I'm not a fan of this idea one bit.
Okay, so I think it's like a couple hours down, couple hours at the bottom, and a couple hours up.
Yeah.
I made that up, but let's say
This whole
6
time
hours.
I'd be thinking I'm dying.
Well, I think even just like the of the capsule of the hull, as they say, I wouldn't
Hmm.
like that part.
No.
Getting bolted in.
Uh,
It's like being in a coffin.
no, and they were doing a dive, maybe the Bahamas dive to Titanic depths. That's it. Um, but they were in the Bahamas, and Carl was with on this one,
Mm.
and that's when they had heard a ton of noise, banging coming from the sub, and I'm pretty sure it was Carl that's like, yeah, you could tell, you could kind of locate where that noise was coming from,
Oh.
and that was part of the pressure vessel breaking, is what how he explained it. And then he said he emailed Stockton with the concerns, and his advice was not heeded.
It sounds like nobody got through to
No,
Stockton.
because then Tony, who used to be part of this project but
Yeah.
was fired after he said we got to redo the whole hull because there was a full crackdown the entire thing.
There were
So there's some things happening that just didn't feel good.
I will say, as a person who watched both, and maybe there's more than two documentaries on this thing, um, the other one was quite focused on the people who worked for Ocean Gate.
Oh, okay.
And they really got into, kind of the org chart and showed how over time people were just fired, 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 fired. So when we got to, and I don't know if he's on your list of people, probably not, because his role in this particular documentary was so small, but he was the director of engineering and he was fired pretty quickly. Yeah,
And that wasn't Tony Nissen.
nope. I don't think Tony. Wait,
Yeah, I said
it was
former
Tony
Ocean
Nissen.
Gate.
You're right.
Yeah.
There he is, right in the middle. It would help if I read these
Nope,
things,
that's okay.
but we know how we roll. You're right. So Tony, he played a huge role in um, the other one, which is why
Yeah.
I should remember his name.
No, that's okay. But he stopped the first Titan and made them redo it.
Yep. So
And then he's fired.
he sure was. So then they pivot. They are done in the Bahamas for reasons I don't know. Was there ever a point you noticed the toilet? Did you notice like what when they were like, all right, cool, we're ready to go to the
No, I don't know
Titanic?
what did it, but I didn't know that they had actual successful dives down there. I really didn't.
I didn't know that either.
But Alfred has seen it. He was in dive 80 and it made it to the Titanic. So there were
You're right.
actually successful dives. What I found just terribly alarming was that they stored this fucking sub outside in Canada.
There it is. I know. So I was wondering if we were going to go through all of
We
these other events. No,
no,
let's skip right to that.
yes,
Because we know what it's like to leave something out in the freezing ass cold.
yes, and for those of you in southern climates and don't know, well, they probably know different types of erosion.
Right.
But if you get water that turns into ice because of the freezing temperatures outside,
Yeah.
that expands or contracts or does something.
Yeah.
But science happens and it ruins the structural integrity.
Yep. That when that happened, I was like, no surprises.
Excuse me, delamination is the parting of carbon fibers. They said that, and I'm imagining that happened.
Yeah.
So this is happening over the winter.
It's just sitting there in
the grips
Newfoundland.
Of a polar vortex.
Yeah.
Is what I have in my notes too. Yeah. So that was bonkers to me. And then they dove afterwards.
I think it was, so it sat out for a whole year.
Yep.
And it sat out for the year before the next expedition where they just raw dogged it
Yep.
down to the ocean floor, and that's where they met their demise.
Yeah. Because Expedition 80 was the boom. Alfred was on that one. That was a boom heard from the surface, but they were near the surface.
And that was in 22.
Expedition 88, which was June 18th, 2023, is the imploding event.
Which, I mean, I do remember. So what were you doing June 18th, 2023? Did you look back at like your pictures or anything to try to look at
no, I should have. That's a good idea. That would have been my grandparents' anniversary. They're both still alive, and so 60 something years.
Yeah, wow.
And actually my parents got married on the same day, but they're divorced now, but that would have been their anniversary too.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of feelings on that day.
No, I mean, it's not like I recognize it and wake up with a heart emoji / broken heart emoji.
That's true. That's true. I think, I mean, we were like adulting and working, and I remember it popping up, and it was one of those things where it's like, holy cow, something like that happened.
Yeah.
And I think I heard about it when there was still hope for finding them.
But I think anybody who knows what this carbon fiber would do.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like either Tim or Carl says, when it fails explosively.
Yeah.
So that's a good descriptor. And I think they also said that this would have taken they just would have, I was curious what actually, I don't really want to know this, but does the body.
But as a clinician, yes, you do.
Yeah. Like, does it, what happens?
Okay. So I wrote down instantaneous and painless death.
I wrote that too.
Okay. In the sense that poof. Although in the detritus,
that woman had to go through.
Yeah, that her name was Kelly Steele.
Yeah.
So Kelly from the Coast Guard was going through this, and she said that the few things that counted as human remains were actually Stockton's sleeve, a sticker, and then 2 business cards and a pen.
And a pen survived.
So with regard to what happened to the actual humans, zero idea.
Yeah. It's one of those things like,
I mean, it's comforting to know that it would have been fast and it wouldn't have hurt.
Yeah.
So for the 4 people down there.
5.
Yep. But comforting it for the 4. The 5th, I feel kind of knew that this was coming. Yeah. And in fact, I think it was Carl who said, no, either Mr. Stanley.
It's Carl.
This wasn't an accident. Anyone who understood what was happening knew that this could be a possibility. Yeah. So in other words, if there was also another quote that I wrote down somewhere that I won't remember, but essentially, you know what? I'm not going to remember.
That's okay.
But I do know that Kelly said regulations are written in blood, meaning that we have rules because bad things happen.
Yep.
And this was a bad thing that happened. Now, here's a question. Well, maybe the question should be for me because you wouldn't go in the first place, but would you bring your kids?
No.
I wouldn't either.
No.
Not unless this was like some sort of hard and fast tested,
Yeah. I have somewhat of a desire to take plane rides and trips with my entire family, myself, Bobby, and the kids, because my rule is one die, I'll die.
Right.
And I do feel that irrationally, when Bobby and I went to Colorado without our children, that gives me a little anxiety.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know what? If this plane goes down, I wish we would all be on it. But I guess I'm glad my kids wouldn't be on it at that point. But you know what I mean?
I do. That's why life insurance matters. Yeah. That's why everybody needs an Eric Baskin.
Oh, I know.
Just to make sure that you've got all your shit together.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, we already knew the spoiler in the title. Yep. Everybody perishes. There's a trial ongoing. In fact, as of right now, it's still ongoing.
Yes, there's no full report out, But I think that they did conclude with the Coast Guard finds as criminal behavior.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And
but there's no charges brought.
Correct.
But I don't think they would have let us see what Captain Neubauer was saying. Yes, we determine this is criminal.
Yeah, I have a feeling that this is going to go through quite a bit of scrutiny, especially considering the powerful people at the top. The Bohemian Rhapsody group and the Macy's Parade.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Good luck getting through this. But so after watching it, any public service announcements from your end?
Well, you don't do this.
Yeah.
Like, don't get on a sub. I also wouldn't get on an astronaut, a spaceship.
Well, all of those female celebrities went recently to the moon.
Yes.
Would you go there?
No.
Really?
I can see it just fine.
I'd
telescope it. No, I'm afraid of space and I'm afraid of depth, of ocean.
But not of those zombies coming.
No, I'm ready for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like that you're good on.
Well, that I know I'm dying.
On your own planet, you're like, I can fight the forces that be, but it's almost like taking out of your natural habitat is a hard pass.
I'm even afraid of Lake Superior.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've sailed on it and you get in the middle of Lake Superior and it's a lake and it's cold, but I've jumped in.
Yep.
And have just pictured that boat. I don't know what I think it's going to do, disappear, or I'm going to be tugged away, but I just want to almost tie myself to it. And I'm a very good swimmer, and I just am afraid of it.
So is it also the idea of large sturgeon that are also in Lake Superior?
That doesn't get me as much as the unknown depth. How far down does that lake go?
Okay. Because we could Google that.
I know, and the answer would terrify me. If it's more than 14 feet, which it is.
Okay, yeah, it is.
I know I couldn't survive a trip to the bottom.
Well, it's more than 14 feet out there.
Yeah, which you don't see me jumping out in there either.
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't.
Marion Lake is the only lake I'll confidently
that you'll go in.
Swim around in. Yeah.
That you've seen the depths and it's fine. So scuba diving, not of interest to you?
Not terribly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm afraid of it.
Well, yeah. Okay, so don't go in newfangled vessels outside of oxygen.
That's a really good PSA. That would be mine.
Yeah. Okay, I would agree with it. Well, there you have it, folks. This is just the gist of Implosion.
Implosion.
Found in multiple sources if we get our facts right.
Yeah, exactly.
HBO and Amazon. All right.
Well, my HBO is in Amazon.
And
check it out there.
We will. Do we want to say what we're doing for our next one?
Sure. Yeah. Lilith Fair.
Yeah.
Do we want to say it? No, we want to sing it.
Yes, there it is. All right. And with that, we'll be back.
Yep.
Well, there you have it. You may have picked up on a fact or two.
Or just convinced yourself you did.
Either way, that's the Gist Project. Never educational, but always entertaining.